Beginning to homeschool is a lot like starting any new job. Suddenly, your life is thrown into chaos as everything about your daily routine is changed. You can even resent the daily lessons, the math, the phonics, the need for yet another spelling test, the thought of having to get out materials for a science experiment because you know it's going to mess up your kitchen, and then you realize you forgot to purchase 2 liters of soda last week when you went to the store, and it's not like you're in the habit of drinking soda anyway, so now you need to run to the corner store to get some overpriced soda for your kids' science experiment, and you start to resent these intrusions on your personal time. You have to wake up at a different time than you used to. You're not used to this new schedule and routine, and neither are your children. Let's talk about small seeds called habits. One thing that new homeschoolers often fail to realize is that everything about their new routine will start to become automatic, if only it is done consistently enough, often enough. When you start out, you are using all your energy on these boring, repetitive tasks, like chores and getting children to obey. But if you can put your body and your homeschooling day on autopilot, then all of your creative energy can soon be used to really enjoy the process of learning with your kids, even enjoying them as your friends. Let's learn now how to set up habits to reclaim all of that energy and to make homeschooling a little less stressful. A habit is defined as any practice or pattern of behavior that is regularly performed in a set manner. You want to automate all of those daily habits so that your brain won't have to stress about them anymore. According to Michael Hyatt, best-selling author of the book Free to Focus, he says that there are 3 key benefits of habits. Benefit number 1, they free up your creativity. One of the things that is most enjoyable about homeschooling is that you can teach your children to be creative, and you can be creative with them. I don't know about you, but in my imaginary perfect world of homeschooling, the one that exists only in my head or on a blog somewhere, I would be going outside with my children each day so that we could each explore creation together, taking notes, drawing lovely illustrations of the birds we watched in the wild, doing research in a field guide, learning to repeat their bird calls, maybe learning how to forage for wild herbs in case we ever needed that food in a crisis. Whatever it was, each person would be following their God-given talents in a delightful pursuit of knowledge and wisdom. But if my thoughts are taken up with the drudgery of laundry, changing diapers, breaking up fights, getting my children to pick up their toys, pulling teeth to do math, then I have no brain energy left to be creative. And frankly, I just want to hide. I want to take a nap, and I want to imagine that none of this is happening. The reality is that I cannot be creative because I have not taken the time to set up habits that will allow much of my day to go on autopilot. Michael Hyatt lists the second benefit of habits as speeding up your work. Habits can shorten the time you spend doing dishes and chores and other mundane tasks because you do them repeatedly. You find out the most efficient way to do something because you've been doing it every day consistently. And that efficiency, that attention to those little details allows you to speed up. You realize that you could sweep the floor in a different order, which would possibly shorten your time by several minutes. And those minutes are time that you could spend with your children reading a book on the couch and snuggling. Now, the third benefit to habits is that habits clean up mistakes. I think we should say habits prevent mistakes. Mistakes like thinking about so many things at once that you accidentally put the red tablecloth into the wash with your whites. You forget to check pockets for pens, and now an entire load of laundry is ruined. And you can now add going clothes shopping to your list of things to do in addition to homeschooling. This is just one example, but other examples include spilling things, not seeing crumbs and getting an ant infestation, not printing out math worksheets for a few days by accident while your kids get further and further behind and are in danger of not learning the things you had planned out for them. Maybe you forget doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, you forget to go to co-op, you forget to go to piano, you forget to have your children practice the piano. Michael Hyatt lists 4 kinds of habits that are smart to make, and we will adapt these a little bit for the homeschooling environment. First of all, let's set up a morning habit. This is from the time you, mom, wake up in the morning to the time your kids wake up. So what are the things that you need to do to invest into your life as a mom, to help you to nourish your soul, to help you exercise, to help you study the scriptures, to help you read and pray, maybe to get some food into your stomach so that you're not so tired later, to get a shower, to do all of these things that you as a mom need to do to feel like a human being? Let's make a list of what in an ideal world those routine things would be every morning. Secondly is your homeschooling day startup. Now, this is for the time that you actually start school. In an ideal world, what are the key steps that you would take? For instance, have you checked that your kids have made the bed? Have you checked that everyone has brushed their teeth? Have they brought their books to the table? Do they all have a pen or a pencil? Is every pencil sharpened? Do you have the crayons that you need, the science experiment supplies, the math manipulatives, the books that you're supposed to read? Basically, there are certain things that if you did them every single morning consistently, it would allow you to double check all of these questions and you would know that you can get started with confidence. Thirdly, what are you doing at the end of your homeschooling day to shut down? Now, this is sort of a way to prepare for the next day, but if books aren't put back in their place, then tomorrow morning when you need to do math and no one can find a math book, it's going to be really difficult and very frustrating and very stressful. So before you just go off into your own individual activities, because seriously, as a homeschooling family, you don't need to be doing school all day. Let's say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All afternoon, your kids are going to be playing, pursuing their own interests, and if their things aren't put away, then you're going to lose things and you're going to be very frustrated. So do you have a checklist, a list of rituals, a list of habits of things that you can do? And for younger children, for preschool, this would include picking up toys and not just going from one activity to the next, leaving a mountain of toys behind them. Finally, what is your evening ritual, your evening set of habits? Mom, again, this goes back to you, but also your children need one. If you get ready for bed every night, doing the same things in the same order, maybe first a bath, then you brush your teeth, then you have a story, then you all have hugs, maybe dad gives a couple tickles, and then everyone is tucked into bed. If you always do things in the same order, it's going to make your home a lot more peaceful of a place. Your kids are going to sleep better, and it allows you to get them to bed on time so that you can get the quiet time and start your evening habits so that you're ready for bed and you can actually get up when that alarm clock goes off the next morning without constantly dragging. Michael Hyatt recommends that 30 minutes before bed, you turn off your electronics. You lay out your clothes for the next day. You prepare any items that you might need. Maybe errands are going to need to be run. Things like that are put by the door. You prepare for bed and you spend some quiet time in prayer. If you are trying to make habits that are personal for your family, first of all, notice the things that you do in a day. This might mean that you carry a piece of paper and a pen around with you and write down the things that would make great habits. That's step 2. Write them down. Make a fantastic list. Step 3, try to put them into an order and then practice that order for a few days. Does it need to be optimized? Do things need to be shifted around? Would it be better if you swapped 2 things on your list in the order in which you did it? Test it out, test it out, test it out. And finally, when you're sure that it's ready for this season in your life, and yes, every season is a little different. When it is ready for this season in your life, make a chart, put it out on the wall, and share it with all of your family so everyone can get on board and do these habits together. These are all small seeds that we can do to just take a lot of the stress off of homeschooling. This has been Anne with Homeschooling Help for this week.